The first thing that I go to the woods with when I'm hunting is a miniature Bic Lighter, the ones that are about half the size of your finger. Outside of the obvious reasons that you can start a fire with a lighter, I like the miniature ones because they still last quite a long time. A little more compact in your pocket, and a 2-inch roll of duct tape fits over them perfectly. I always put about 5 to 6 feet of duct tape on my lighter. The reason I do that is for gear repair. Give you an example. Last year during turkey season, had a storm go through, tore my blind down, and broke one of my poles. I just grabbed about a foot of this duct tape and repaired my pole. I was back in business. Secondly, I always have a small flashlight in my pocket. This one's about the size of your finger. It runs on one AAA battery. This brand is a Streamlight. It's really durable. I've had this one since 2018. Reasons to carry a flashlight. If you're walking out of the woods and your headlamp dies, you can always just grab this one out of your pocket, use it to get out of the woods. If something goes wrong with your truck, you can always get underneath your truck, and it's nice to have a nice light to look for problems on your vehicles. If you're at camp, this is a spare light for at night if you got to get up and use a bathroom or something like that. So I always keep a spare light with me in my pocket at all times. Next, always have a quality fixed blade knife. This particular one is an Etsy Azula. I really recommend this knife. It's simple, it stays sharp, and it's really durable, and it's affordable. I do a couple things with it. Firstly, I put some, this is tent tie-out material that's reflective. I kind of put that around the sheath here in certain areas just because after you're gutting a deer at night, you throw your sheath somewhere, and then you spend 15 minutes after you're done looking for your sheath because you can't find it in the dark. So put a little reflective line on it, or reflective tape would work also. Then you'll never lose it at night. I also put a little bit of that reflective line right here on the handle, and I wrap it with enough 550 cord to replace my shoelaces on my boots. You can actually use the 550 cord for a number of things. Inside of the 550 cord here, I actually have a sewing needle. And the reason for that sewing needle is inside the 550 cord, inside the shell of it, there's actually nylon thread in there on quality 550 cord. That nylon thread can be used to sew up gear that may break on you. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I was walking out in the hills here in Indiana, and the strap on my tree stand broke. I just took some 550 cord, took it apart, sewed it up real quick, and then I had my backpack straps fixed for the rest of the hunt. If you don't know how to sew, I'd recommend learning. It's really useful. I also carry my wallet with me when I'm hunting. This is a Maxpedition wallet. The reason I like this wallet is it's Velcro, which makes it a little more secure. Inside, you actually have a Velcro strap that keeps all your cards secure. Behind my cards, I actually keep my hunting license in a card saver, which is something you'd put like a baseball card in. This just keeps everything a little more organized. It also gives it a little bit of protection from water damage, and it just keeps it organized. There's nothing worse than when you get stopped by the conservation officer to check your license, fumbling through your wallet trying to find where your license are. I always keep them nice and organized in this card saver and easy access for situations like that. Another tip for you, while you're hunting, always carry about $60 in cash on you. You may be thinking, why do you need $60 in cash? Well, a few times in my adventures hunting, I've wandered too far away from the truck and actually came out on another road. And if you have $20, you may be able to flag someone down and ask them if they could drive you around the block to your truck. On an out-of-state hunt, that may save you a lot of time, and time is very valuable when you're out of state. If you're out west somewhere, you may want to carry a little more cash with you because those trips around the block can be a lot more time-consuming for someone. And last but certainly not least, a good multi-tool. This one is a Leatherman Free P4. This is hands down the best multi-tool I have ever found. It replaced my SOG Power Lock. I had this one since 2017. Some reasons I didn't like this one. To access any of the tools, you actually had to open up the needle nose pliers, and then you can access them from the inside. My needle nose pliers do have clippers at the end of them, but they've kind of gotten dull, and they've also are all dinged up now, so they don't work very well. My scissors broke on it, and my Phillips head screwdriver snapped off on it, so it was time to replace it. I've been using this Leatherman for about a week now, and I absolutely love it. All the tools are accessible from the outside. Some of the key ones that I like to use as a hunter is, for one, this saw blade here. You can see I got some sawdust in it. This saw blade can replace your foldable saw blade that you carry around with you when you're hunting. You're not going to cut through a 5-inch diameter tree with this thing, but most places it's illegal to do that anyway. So this will no problem take care of any of the smaller branches you need cut when you're setting up a stand or a trail camera or something like that. It also has a really quality pair of scissors. Like I said before, on my SOG, my scissors broke. These feel more quality. They're super sharp, and it's always nice to have an extra set of scissors laying around. You never know what you may need to use them for. The knife on it is really quality. I still would carry a fixed blade knife while you're hunting, but you could definitely skin a deer or gut a deer with this blade here. The pliers are probably my most used tool. I'll use them a lot on my camera arm because camera arms have a lot of moving parts, and they eventually the bolts and nuts will actually come loose on your camera arm. And with that, I can just grab this in the field, fix it real quick, and I'm up and running again. You could also tighten up tree stand bolts or stick bolts if that would happen to come loose on you. And then these they have some wire clippers here in the bottom of the pliers. Those can be used to trim up really small limbs out of your way, shooting lanes or things that are blocking a trail camera or something like that. There's also wire cutters at the bottom of the pliers. What I use these for the most is trimming small limbs out of shooting lanes and things like that. These are unique on Leatherman because they actually have changeable blades on your clippers. So if you nick them up or they get really dull, you can just order some new clippers, and then you got a fresh pair again. There's also a Phillips head and a flathead screwdriver inside the Leatherman. I use these an awful lot, especially the flathead on camera gear, and you never know when you're going to need a screwdriver. So that's everything that I carry with me every day while I'm hunting. If you're interested in any of these products I've talked about in this video, they're all linked in the description below.